The accident raised questions about the future of Prigozhin's private army, which fought alongside Russian troops in Ukraine before the brief uprising against military leaders. In Moscow, Russian officials expressed need to wait for DNA test results to confirm Prigozhin's death. But Putin offered his condolences after the jet fell from sky. The Russian leader also ordered Wagner fighters swear allegiance to Russian state. According to decree published late Friday on Kremlin's website, which will come into effect immediately. The order comes after Kremlin rejected suggestions from Western officials and the news media on Friday that Wagner leader may have been killed on Putin's orders. In African countries where Wagner provided security against extremist organizations such as Al-Qaeda, the Islamic State group, officials and commentators predicted that Russia would likely remain in existence put the mercenaries under new leadership. But others say Prigozhin made deep personal connections that Moscow may find difficult to change quickly. Africa is of vital economic and political importance for Russia. This summer, Wagner helped hold a national referendum Central African Republic that strengthened presidential power. It is a key partner of Malian army in fight against armed insurgents, and contacted military junta Niger, who wanted to get service after coup. Expanding ties and reducing Western influence in Africa is a top priority as the Kremlin seeks new allies amid the war in Ukraine, where Wagner forces also helped win an important war. Africa's 54 countries make up the largest voting bloc in the UN, and Moscow has actively worked to rally support for their invasion. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Linda Thomas-Greenfield said on Friday that Wagner's forces destabilized and "We encourage countries in Africa to condemn their presence and actions." The Central African Republic's Republican Front, allied with the country's ruling party, reiterated its support for Russia and Wagner on Thursday, saying they are determined to fight alongside the African people struggling for self-determination. Wagner forces served as personal bodyguards of President Faustin Archange Touadera, protecting the capital of Bangui from insurgent threats and helping Touadera win the July 30 constitutional referendum that could extend his power indefinitely. Central African activist and blogger Christian Amy Ndota said the country's cooperation with Russia would not be affected by Wagner's new leadership, which has been rooted in the country for years. But some in Central African Republic condemned the mercenaries and UN peacekeeping mission there criticized them for human rights abuses in 2021. The security of a state is its sovereignty. You cannot entrust the security of a state to a group of mercenaries, said Jean-Serge Bokassa. Former Minister Public Security, Natalia Dukan, a senior fellow at the Century, a Washington-based policy organization, predicted that the Kremlin would